So, welcome to my channel, guys. I got a good video for you today. I have my exercise video later. Um, because I need to lose my weight. I'm fat, and I know it. But it's okay. We can get through through that. So look out for that video later. Today I want to talk about oats. Now, I just watched uh one of my YouTubers, like one of my favorite YouTubers, and he says it at the end of the video. Right here, this is what I just watched earlier.
Stand out and connect with customers on Google by
I
claiming
have
your
no
free business profile. You
let
can
me
easily
let me
edit
say
your
this.
hours,
I don't have a
accept
problem
bookings,
with how he
and
says
much
it.
more. Claim your free
But
business profile
people, when
today.
they respond, like this is actually a good tip. I love the tip that he has. I've done jujitsu and have done mainly no gi. Uh, but if you go down to the beautiful, it is my attention to detail that make a bad day great. Thank you. And he put and now that's not the spelling. And that's not how you spell it though. That's how you say it. The pronunciation is right there. You pronounce it the way it's spelled, but uh, it's su. Oh, su. So it's I think it's funny when I think he's not the only one that does this. Like I go on Facebook, right, and hold on, let me get my phone. Uh, I can go on Facebook and people in the karate place. A lot of people will spell O's that way. Uh, and I think it's crazy how people uh when they try to spell it and they spell it incorrectly. Now, there is a word that has uh, OSSU at the end. It's like, hey, yo, dude. It's like that's uh the meaning of that. From what I gather on my Japanese app dictionary, it's like dictionary, but it's an app. I don't know how accurate that is per se. But if you look at the word os, uh, if you don't know the meaning of it, it's can I don't care. He can say os all day long. I'm not Japanese. This is America. You do what you want. You got freedom of speech. But when people say it, how many Americans, especially that take martial arts, uh, Japanese style martial arts, or how many dojo out there that would use the term "os"? And do they know what it means? Do they know what the word mean? Uh, os. So I when I took Japanese karate, which is karate do for me, uh, which is the same as Shotokan. So once I learned how to count in Japanese, I was like, well, I like it. When I learned Jodan, Kibidachi, you got Miragiri, uh, all the other terms. Now he didn't teach me the meaning. Like he didn't teach me. He's like tell me it was a kick, and he didn't fully explain the the whole thing. So I had to go and look and learn the true meanings by myself. Like one of the vocabularies that he had is was os, which is it's, when you read the vocabulary, it has a meaning to it, and it has a little bit of the background to it. It's like it was a use in the military for yes sir. So I thought it was cool. So when I learned that, I went on and decided to hold on. Yeah, I get my dog. She's ready to come back in. So hold on, give me a minute. I'll be back. Here's my puppy. Come here. Come here, puppy. Come here, puppy. Oh, yes. Oh, give me some lovin's. No. Can you say hi to everybody? You can. You can. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. So we're not gonna play the whole thing because today's lesson is not. Uh, so I think he says it right here. Close. Yeah, he's that's right there. So hold on, let me go back. Hold on. Damn it.
Next one. Os.
So yeah, so he is. Hold on.
We'll see you in the next one. Os.
We see you in the next one. Os. Like, was it? I found it. I don't think he knows what O's mean. When you say O's like that, we'll get you on the next one, and we'll get you on the next one. O's, and he says it so nonchalant. No information behind it. O's, like that. So in other words, that's he's saying we'll get you another one. Yes, sir. He's the teacher. He's the higher rank. He's supposed to be the higher rank in this. Now, and I did go into Jesse and Yusuke's page to see what they thought about the usage of oaths. And I never lived in Japan, but I did learn traditional karate, and that's how I learned the word oaths. And the only time you use the word oaths is when the teacher asks for us to say oaths, or like, in other words, he's asking us for to say oaths as if for us to understand. When we are learning, when I was learning Japanese karate, he will talk about his instructions, and at the end he goes oath, and we respond oath, like yes sir. Like, as I asked, we were in like a military environment. I think it's fascinating all the theories that people were coming out with. Like in fact, Jesse and the other Yusuke, they had only similar theory that they both agree upon was the good morning theory, where they was Ohayo gozaimasu, meaning good morning, right? Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohio, the word Ohio, then you use gozaimasu. That's proper the honorific word for good morning, and usually that is used for a respectful way. You can shorten it if you're close to, like, if I'm talking to my buddy. If let's say if I live in Japan and I have a buddy and I see him in the morning, I can drop the gozaimasu and say Ohio, good morning. It's And same with Oyasumi. You don't say Oyasumi to somebody you just met. You say Oyasumi Nase, which means Nasai means good morning. That's more proper, more polite. When you are but when you are saying a response to your sensei, you can simply say hi or os, or depending on if he wanted to say os, depending on the instructor and the environment that who you I don't know where they got os from, but I don't see a wrong, and that's because we're Americans. And there's but I like how Jesse say, well, Jesse Enkeps, when he said there's times where you don't say os, and that's to people that's older than you or higher rank than you are. So it's because it becomes rude in a sense. But also can be like, you can say with your buddy, because from what I read, right, it has OSSU, and it was just still pronounced os. And it's like, and you say os, what's up, buddy? Hey, it's more of a it also it depends on the tone of how you say it. So it's, you'll be os, like yes sir, or os, what's up, like, you know, hi, hey dude, what's up, you know, what's poppin', you know, what's happening, you know. That's you can say, you use it in a friendly conversation with a buddy. And that's most, I think that's more to the teenage kids lingo there. It's not, you not normally want to say an older Japanese person wouldn't say os like that. It would be more hi. Hi is more of a common it literally can just translate I agree with you, or yes. It's so it's a yes. It's a form of yes. You're agreeing to something, to something, you're agreeing about it. There's another word for yes, but it's so close to the word no, which is it. It's but it's the different, so people get just simply say and it's shorter, and it's like what's up, yeah, I got you. So it's really is the high is more polite though. Like you normally don't normally when used the other form of hi, yes, form on a form of yes, that's when you are with buddies, with family, someone that, and that's the male voice. There's a female, I believe there's a female, there's a, like in Spanish, there's a masculine and feminine words that that people say, right? And so man, I wish I can go just to visit. I have a cousin that he lives in Japan now, and he's like, it's a phenomenal place to visit, but not a great place to live. And I guess well, you gotta think about this too, though. He's living in the time of COVID. So the COVID, he's in the Navy, and he was supposed to go back Monday. I believe he did end up going back Monday. He did end up getting his COVID test, because he's in the Navy. He has to get a rapid COVID test and be able to wait. Once he was to get a rapid test and a rapid COVID test so he can go go back to Japan because he came from Japan to visit. With Austin, and I got to see him off and got to see him goodbye, and that was that past weekend when I saw him. But what I did when I asked him because he's from America and he still doesn't. He's been there for a while and he can carry on a small conversation. He knows that he has to learn. He knows that he doesn't have a fully learned Japanese. He knows that he needs. There are certain words he needs. Some phrases of words he needs to say, like, how much is this? Can I get this? Can I go that way? Can you take me this way? That way. He doesn't need to know the directions. He also gonna need to know possibly the address, whatever. But he doesn't necessarily have to know uh, that was pretty cool. Watch this video up here. He does show really cool tips about especially if you're learning. But anyways, going back to the word oath, right? It's becoming now a big common uses in America, and that's and that's one thing about Americans. We can take we can adapt a word from from a foreign place like Japanese, right, and make it into our own. And not know the history or the theories about behind the word itself, right? It is we'll say we can take a word like oath and make it to mean anything. Oath? Do you understand? Oath? Like question mark? Oath? And it's crazy because when you use it in that way, like yes sir, it's like yes sir, huh? What do you mean? It's funny because when learning a different language, or if you learn just one word from that language, you'll use it any way you want. That's what Americans do. We take a word and, like, for instance, not many people know the word that high also could be ash or leg. So there's a different meaning of those words and how we use it. But high is very height. It's very subtle use for yes. It's also common uses in Japan, which is great. But here's another word for instance. So I thought that in fact one of the things I heard about the theory was Oyosumi. So unite as shown in that word for like Oyosumi, you always had OSU in the in the frame, right? So the theory was they shortened the saying Oyasumi Nase, Nasai, right? when they say they want to just shorten the word from that to os, unite, and that's one of the things that I heard. I have heard. Now the good morning makes sense. Like when you're in the military, and that you try to be as polite as possible, and you want to say, "Ohayo gozaimasu, Ohayo gozaimasu, Ohayo gozaimasu," and surely you get tired of saying that long phrase and want to shorten it to os, os, os. So it's became like similar to what the Marines in America was a hoorah, hoorah. So that's I can see that the similarity of os, hoorah, and when the Marines will uh this is something that it's a word that someone came up with for a way to showing something. In other words, I think it's if we're gonna use the word, we should learn the meaning in the background of that word, so that way we don't sound like foolish people saying a word that means it could be. Luckily, also doesn't mean doesn't that mean something bad like I'll kill you or you smell like shit. You know, so something else. You smell like shit. Something. I mean, I mean, I guess I took myself. Sorry. Uh, it could be like it's just funny because when you are using the word "os," not know what it means, it does the same thing. It could be like saying a word and be like, what does it? And then if you have somebody who speaks Japanese or whatever, and you say "os" in the Japanese class, like you just say I smell like shit, you know, and you get that look like, dude, seriously, you use, do you know even know what that means? You know, so I get it. You gotta be careful what all the words uh you say for. I mean, as long as you know what it means, like, and you just and use it, use it however you want in America. That's freedom of speech. Okay, I'm not gonna take that away. And granted, also it's a fun word to say. One of my favorite words, in fact, is oyasumi. And I mean, no, oishi, delicious. I like to use oishi, meaning delicious. This is it's a fun word to say. Uh, um, it's and usually I use it when something's really good. Like I don't say oishi for just because it's okay. Like I will use umi. Like it's good. Like uh, it's good. Oyoshi, oishi, oishi. Uh, and another fun word is Ohio. Oh, it sounds like the state Ohio, right? That's another fun one. The the words, there's a lot of Japanese words out there. That's, to me, it's fun just to say. Like doste, doste. I would say doste. Uh, like just like when I see something, when something doesn't go right, I say doste. Why? The doste is like a very polite saying, and why. For instance, naze, naze. Why? So naze. So, learning the honorific words like that is I think is fun. There's a lot of other words like when people count Japanese, when they learn how to count Japanese, they don't is ichi ni san shi, right? Shi is not that common in uses. It's common in martial arts now. And when you learn martial arts, traditional karate, you will learn the word shi. But that word also means death. Like same as shichi, as seven in Japanese, so is nana. And the more you know about the words, like it, and when you go into ranks, especially if you go into ranks, like Shodan is first level, right? Then Nidan, Sandan, and Yodan. Yodan is like it's four. It's four. It's not because it's not gonna be Shidan because of the fact Shi means death. Once you get to Godan, Roku Dan, and not Shichi Dan, it's Nana Dan. Then Hachi, Kyu Dan, Ju Dan. Alright? Those are 10 levels of the belts. I explained that in my last video of the belts, on the rankings of that. And once you learn how to count, I think you should learn also. Just play with it. Ichi ni san shi go. Ichi ni. You don't have to say ichi. You can say ich ni san yon go. Shichi roku shichi hachi ku ju, or ichi ni san yon go roku nana hachi kyu ju. So those are the 10 counting, and you can also go to Juichi, Juni, Jusan, Juyon, or Jushi. I think infinite counting it will change. I think it was not. I don't think it's Jushi. It's Juyon, Jugo, Juroku, Ju Nana, Ju Haji, Ju Q or Q. We got Niju. Got 20 right there. Niju is 20. So it's so once you, even when you counting, the she becomes yon. Even when you say 100, it won't be she. It'll be yon hayaku. I'm not the greatest pronunciation. Ancient pronunciation of hundreds, not my strong suit. Like but anyways, that's that's all in Japanese that I want to. I think I talked about this a little longer than I wanted. That's been fun. I'm out, man. Also, if you want to know about us, go to the in here, and you have plenty of other Oh yeah, this is the OS game. The game is here. Let's see here. OS. Let's see here. Let's see here. Go. Let's go into meaning. And yeah, see and I watched these two videos, and I thought it was pretty cool.
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best, you've got to try Ka'Chava. Ka'Chava is the world's healthiest all-in-one.
Did you guys know that only half of you use the word os in a karate dojo? Find out the backstory behind this magical word and alternative words that you can use in this video.
Well, I know.
There were 4 choices: os, hai, yes in your local language, and others. And the result was os 50%, hai 22%, yes in your local language 19%, and other 4%. And seeing this data, it's not so far off from what we said.
We go a little bit.
The first one meaning to press, and the second one meaning to endure. So together with these 2 words means to press down your ego, emotion, and endure the hardships. However, there are numerous theories to why this word was born. Let me just introduce 2 of them. The first theory is the sumo theory. In sumo, when you get pressed by the opponent, when you're enduring that hard punches and pushes, we express that as a status of you being os, so you taking the hit. The second theory, actually in the Navy, you have to be talking at a very strict manner. Therefore, they wouldn't say "Ohayo gozaimasu," they would say "Ohayo gozaimasu" very strictly.
Yeah.
And as this went a lot more extreme, they would say "Us," like that. So the phrase shortened, and then became os. The similarities between these 2 theories are that they both descend from a Japanese language and not the Okinawan or the Ryukyu language. These are 2 different languages, the mainland Japan language and the Okinawan language. Yes, right now people in Okinawa speak Japanese, but there are still a lot of words that only make sense within that island. Therefore, os is not used in Okinawa. So some alternative words that people use in Japan are hai, wakarimashita, arigatou gozaimasu.
And those, okay.
Hai means
yes. Wakarimashita means I understand. Now the word so if you want to ask that in a question, you would wakarimasu ka? Well, do you understand? You would, and your response to that is wakarimashita or hai. More to be more precise, hai. Wakarimashita. Yes, I understand. Then you can thank them like arigatou gozaimasu, means like thank you for they very polite way to say thank you. You can use the domo arigato to gozaimasu to really like saying thank you very much. It was the owner mainly to help that you did that it was when you were saying it was a pleasure, or you were just really thankful for that person's service.
Yes, in a very strict and I guess proper manner. So you're not going to be using hai to your friend. It's very formal word. And wakarimashita means I understand in a polite manner as well. And arigatou gozaimasu means thank you in a very polite manner. So these 3 words would make sense in a situation where you would answer os. Some words, you can use can be yes in your local language. So anything around that line is all good. And what I found interesting was a lot of you in the English-speaking countries say yes ma'am or yes sir, which shows the concept of hai in a very good translation. So I
like his
question. Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million users using?
Imagine if there was a magical word that could be used for nearly anything in martial arts. It comes from Japanese full contact Kyokushin karate. You see, in Kyokushin, it's common wisdom that the term osu stems from a longer phrase known as osu no seishin. In this particular case, os is a combination of two different kanji, namely the verb os, which means to push, and shinobu, which means to endure or suffer. Put together, these two kanji form a new compound word.
So this is what I like the definitions. What Yusuke said, it was because of the sumo wrestling. He talked about that's the word I can. One of the words I can. Because it's my speech impediment. It's hard for me to.
Word, which can symbolize a lot of stuff depending on who you ask. Combat spirit, the importance of effort, and the necessity to overcome all obstacles by pushing them aside are some of the commonly cited meanings of this os version. In other words, since Kyokushin karate requires extreme amounts of physical conditioning and guts, this theory says that you're verbally reminding yourself to breach your comfort zone by putting your physical and mental limits to the test every time you say os. Pretty badass. But is this Kyokushin theory the main reason for today's mainstream usage of os? Expert talks in his work about a fascinating experiment that he once conducted with a group of random people in order to observe the various ways in which subjects would return a simple morning greeting. Put briefly, Dr. Mizutani greeted unknown people on the streets of Nagoya with the expression "Ohayo gozaimasu," which is the most polite Japanese equivalent of good morning. And he noted the different responses he got. See, although most subjects replied in a similar manner, during the course of the experiment, Dr. Mizutani noticed that greetings changed as situations changed. Joggers, for instance, involved in an athletic activity, responded with considerably rougher language than people who were just out for a stroll or walking their dog. As a matter of fact, Dr. Mizutani found that most of the joggers responded with shorter and shorter forms of the greeting, like "Ohayos," "Ohayos," "Os," or simply "Os." So, the conclusion drawn by Mizutani was that os is a very rough, masculine expression used mainly by young men towards other men, most often while engaged in athletic activities, and that it basically means "heya" in English. But is Dr. Mizutani's observation of os the main reason for our omnipresent usage of os in modern karate and other martial arts? Well, that remains a mystery. Next up, number 3, the onegai shimasu theory. This last theory is called the onegai shimasu theory, and it's similar to the previous good morning theory, in the sense that a longer and
onegai shimasu means like you're asking for help. Like, when you please help me, I want to be your disciple. In other words, like when you want to learn from them. In other words,
formal Japanese expression gets shortened to a more pragmatic but less respectful version. In this case, the original phrase is onegai shimasu, a word that most karate practitioners have surely heard or perhaps even used themselves in the dojo. Although onegai shimasu is one of the most common expressions used in Japanese everyday language, it's actually a pretty hard to translate term in English, and the closest equivalents I can come up with are "please," "do me the favor," or "grant me the pleasure," meaning you're inducing a mutual feeling of gratitude and respect. So, how does onegai shimasu become os? Well, I actually noticed this phenomena unfold myself on many occasions when I lived in Japan. See, while most regular students would exclaim "onegai shimasu" as they bow to each other before beginning an exercise, a couple of youngsters would always gradually shorten the phrase, until by the very end of the class, the only thing that
Now he'll simply at the end of this, he simply say when you're not supposed to say it. It's because it's a way for someone to, if you know somebody close to you, you can use os. But hey, again, if you're in America, I don't care. use it how you want. So I thought